Welcome back to the programme. Now, an international specialist says in the height of the recession, people in business are displaying the type of devastating, paralysed after effects of stroke victims. Julianne Sheridan's been speaking to Marie O'Riordan about these comments.
I guess, a lot of people could say, some cheek with a headline like that went out to you and your staff. But I suppose the reasoning behind it, Julianne, and the reason I feel this strongly is because what a lot of people don't realise is that 8 years ago I actually survived a stroke myself. So that was very frightening. And, when you're told at one point that you've 9 hours left and you may not wake up tomorrow. And the fact is that I did wake up the next day, and 4 days into it, I came out of it, but I lost the entire use of the whole right hand side of my body from the top of my head to the tips of my toes. And, when you go through an experience like that, I see similarities right now with the economy and businesses, especially around Cavan Monaghan, because I deal with a lot of people in the area as well. And it's like this, they're frightened, they don't know where to turn. And I've had families tell me that they've had to make a choice at the end of the month, whether they want to buy more groceries for them and their family and their children, or pay the phone bills in their offices. So there's still a major issue here.
Right. And, how can this be tackled? The government they're making big steps, but it's not impacting at ground level here in counties Cavan, Monaghan, Roscommon, Leitrim and Longford, to which we broadcast to.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I haven't seen any big steps in Ireland. I've built a business in a recession in 151 countries, and this is the country that's sorely lacking. There's a huge lack of leadership, I think, at the top. I think that the people who are going to drag us out of this recession are actually people in business who on the ground can see at the cold face, even in Cavan and Monaghan and with the businesses there, that if they don't have systems themselves or structure themselves, they can't rely on the government. They know that there are no more bailouts. It's going to be down to business people themselves to get a handle on systems that will actually make them successful. And that's why I guess, I've been able to build a business now around the world in a recession, and very proud to be Irish, but not proud of Ireland right now in the state that we're in.
Well, I think what you're saying is, and I think it's correct, a lot of the responsibility does lie with business people, but some of them are at their wits' end. And in fairness, the government don't seem to be giving the businesses in Ireland, the small to medium businesses, I'm talking about in towns like in Longford or in Cavan, the weight that they deserve. Their intelligence, they're working with it every day. They know what avenues is out there for them to explore to try and make their business a success.
Well, it's like this. There's something that you may not realise yet, Julia. When I was dealing with you and Joe and the team and all the staff there at Northern Sound, I actually got a phone call yesterday. So I'm going to be even speaking on stage, teaching business and teaching these systems with Lord Alan Sugar from BBC's The Apprentice in June. And you're not aware that I'm telling you this for the first time right now. So this is the level that I've been playing at around the world. I also was able to present Richard Branson with an award for my business last July, and I've just flown back from Oprah Winfrey in the United States. So this is the level that I'm playing at, because I see internationally the universal themes that are getting people out of trouble right now. And you're right, at the cold face in Cavan, Monaghan, in the region, people need systems. And, even one to give you right now, even you walk into any shop or restaurant, you order something in Cavan, Monaghan, what you're hearing is everything, they think yes, the word yes, it's no problem. Everything is no problem, no problem. I'll do that for you, no problem, no problem. The problem with no problem, Julianne, is that that's a double negative. And what we have in the country is a massive depression of negative language right now, because we've been hit over the head with hammers from the media on the negativity. And it's time for people to realise, be thankful for what you have, get a system and a structure in place, start listening to people who are successful, and don't take money advice even from your bank manager, because right now your bank manager isn't wealthy enough to be giving you advice.
Right. And the avenues that you've, obviously they just didn't come around in a day's time. How did you work our network? I think networking is very important. It's selling yourself to everyone you meet. How did you get those opportunities, like with Alan Sugar, etc.?
Exactly, you're on the money. And basically, Julianne, I believe that your network is your net worth, in fact. And basically, I was able to get myself into a position in business where I invented structures myself. I mean, I've got a strong background of 24 years experience now in radio, television, award-winning filmmaker. I'm an honorary award-winning philanthropist. So I guess as I rose the ranks myself and saw that there were better opportunities outside of Ireland, I was able to rub shoulders and even teach. I mean, some of my clients are Hollywood actors and actresses in Los Angeles and stuff like that. And I guess I just brought together ground. In a week, I'm able to implement 105 systems in their business, and they go on to have success. In fact, the last business that I worked with, they were able to prove that it turned their business around in 4 days flat. So basically, I haven't been teaching this really from the stage in Ireland. So there's an Irish thriving business actually called Schmuck. The Irish for Schmuck is actually, it means discipline. What we need is a lot of discipline right now. So they've invited me to teach business people in Ireland on the 3rd of May in Dublin. If they can make their way to Dublin, I'll be able to teach them exactly. They got me to rub shoulders and be on the same stage as the likes of Lord Alan Sugar from The Apprentice, in a structured way that actually works. Because what we're hearing from the government right now, I'm not seeing any system, I'm not seeing any structure, I'm not seeing the government give anyone the secrets right now how they can actually build their business today, and they can actually not be afraid to go to the supermarket and buy their groceries for the children at the end of the week.
Okay. Now, obviously, it's not going to happen overnight, but I think what businesses need, they're sick of hearing, these big 5-point plans and, seeing no results. If you were to give them a few tips now on something they could do realistically to improve their business, finances are tight, so something that you could improve, not necessarily with a big expense to the business. What would you say?
I mean, there's a whole series. I mean, I'm asked to do this every day. I've been on everything from the Washington Post to CNN with stuff like this. So I'm delighted to be able to bring it home and to Northern Sound with yourself as well. And I think one of the major differences I've been able to see on the ground, even in Irish businesses I've worked with, is changing their language patterns. If you're a person in business, and even on your voicemail or on your messages, or when you're speaking on the phone or speaking to a customer, and everything is no problem or no bother, and I'll take care of that, no bother, no problem. I mean, stop it. Start substituting your language and catching yourself. Yes, absolutely, certainly. Let's start getting things positive in this country right now. Another thing I'm seeing, do you know what's making bank balances messy right now, Julianne?
What?
It's messy businesses. I mean, they're not taking care of the business. The first thing I do when I go into business or I go into any restaurant or hotel, I'll go into the toilets and I'll give a look if they're clean. Because as far as I'm concerned, dirty toilets, dirty kitchen, get out of there. If your place isn't spotlessly decluttered, if you've got stuff all over the place, I can walk into a business that I'm advised to turn around and I'll take one look at the boss's office and their desk and their surroundings. And if it's messy, the business is messy and the profits are messy. So clean up your act. And you'll start to see results, because if you have that mindset of freeing the clutter and freeing all the mess from your space, you'll actually have more headspace to be thinking more strategically about your business. Another thing that I've noticed as well is, we get the wrong advice from a lot of the government heads out there. And you know the way, Julianne, they'll say, oh yeah, what we need now is multitaskers.
Yes.
We do not need multitaskers. What we need is someone who's completely focused on one task at a time to completion. Because if you're dealing with government heads or multitaskers, they're doing a bit of everything and implementing absolutely nothing. The other thing I see in businesses right now, particularly, is even their lighting. And I'll tell you right now, I've been able to prove this with my research in France and in London in 2009, and this went global last year. If you've got fluorescent lighting in your business, you are soaking the energy out of yourself and your staff. Fluorescent lighting is killing your productivity because it sucks the life out of people, the energy of people, and it's been scientifically proven to mess up your sleep pattern and your concentration levels. Get rid, turn off the fluorescent lighting from today. It'll even save the electricity bill as well.
Yes.
And
So there are some simple points.
I mean, Julianne, I could talk here all day. I've had camera crews from America, the likes of Fox News, following me around doing this in businesses the whole time. I mean, Donald Trump gave me Trump Towers to make a 13-minute TV show for Fox Television about this stuff. It's basic, simple common sense, but Julianne, unfortunately, in Ireland right now, common sense isn't very common. That's why at idealbusinessintelligence.com/SMOCT, which means discipline, I'm going to be teaching people in Dublin on the 3rd of May how they can build their business and give it a kick up the rear instantly.
Strong words there from Marie O'Riordan speaking to our reporter Julianne Sheridan.